What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Crypto for You. My name's Tony, and today I want to talk about Bitcoin because Bitcoin's at $99,000. It's at all-time highs. It's about to reach 100K, and many people are wondering what's next for crypto. But before I do that, I want to explain what's been going on because for the last couple days, I've actually been out of crypto. We had no power, no service at our house, and I actually had to drive 30 minutes to a friend's house to get service to make this video. It's kind of crazy, but I'm still here. I'm going to make this emergency update for you guys because it's important to know where crypto's going to go. So, let's start. Bitcoin's right now at 98,900. It went all the way up to 99,300. By the time this video is posted, it could already be at $100,000. And many people are going crazy asking, is it time to go in? Is it too late to go in? Well, I want to explain where we are right now. First of all, this is not the all-time high. This is just the beginning. Because if we go zoom out to the overall bull market, let me just go to a different chart. I have a huge target right over here, this huge box that I placed back when Bitcoin was at around $70,000, when we have just broken out of this bull flag. I have been following this bull flag, and once we broke out, I projected us hitting 100K, 107K in the next couple months, and look how fast it happened. Not 3 weeks went by, we're at the $100,000 already. That's insane. And the surprising thing is that this is just the beginning. Because this target is just a short-term target. It's a short-term box. All this box is the target of this bull flag. And this bull flag is the mid-cycle top. So if we go up to this target, we are officially reaching the exact amount we pumped from the until we reach this halfway point. And while many people associate this halfway point with being exactly halfway, this halfway point is not verticality. We are entering something called verticality, and that's because we have the fear and greed index at 94. That's kind of insane because the fear and greed index, last time it's been at 94, was all the way back in the beginning of November of 2020. And that's important because if we go back to November of 2020 and just look at where Bitcoin was, the beginning of November 2020, Bitcoin was at $15,000. Here it is right over here. I'm just going to write this. I'm going to draw this little tiny plus right there to just show you guys the time and price. And the interesting thing is that once we reach this peak in the fear and greed index, that is when we officially had the most volatile verticality movement ever. When we reached the peak fear and greed index, because that was when people were the most bullish and it was pumping and everybody was buying in. And so this is after the peak fear and greed index. That's when we had this verticality movement, huge verticality movements. This peak was not the all-time high. This was just the beginning. And that's what I'm saying right now. This 100K, where we are right now, some people are saying, is it too late to buy Bitcoin? Is this the peak? This is just the beginning. People are too bullish. Think about what's happening in the world. How many people are buying Bitcoin right now? Think about the news. Think about the amount of companies, the amount of governments that are buying Bitcoin. Those companies that buy Bitcoin, US, BlackRock, who has a lot of Bitcoin, US is proposing to make a Bitcoin bill that I've talked about. 1 million Bitcoin's going to go under their belt, which means that Bitcoin, they have to keep it, right? It's their reserve asset. It'll stay locked in, which means their floor is rising for how low Bitcoin can fall because there's going to be less supply and less supply and less supply. The governments are buying everything up. BlackRock is buying, people are buying, everybody is FOMOing in, which causes price to go up. And while many people say everybody's FOMOing in, it's time to sell, the difference this time is the governments are not going to sell. Well, what does that mean? We're not going to fall as low. Which brings me to the second point of this 2020 peak fear and greed index, and that's the price. Where the peak fear and greed index was at around $15,000. Look where Bitcoin fell down to in the bear market, around $15,000. I could say the same thing is happening to Bitcoin right now. I've been talking about Bitcoin's lowest point being at around 90K. If we do reach all-time highs and then go for a bear market, most likely 90K, 100K is the bear market support level. We're not going to go lower than that. And what does that mean? That means right now, currently, where Bitcoin is, could be the last point where somebody could buy in and still be bullish if they decide to hold through the bull market and the bear market. They'll still break even, they'll still be bullish. Not financial advice, dude. I'm 16. Don't even think about it. Make your own research. But that's what I would do. I'm not going to buy after this point. I am gonna ride the wave because what Bitcoin's about to do is gonna be the craziest corporate wave FOMO in history. And while many people hear FOMO and say that's a bad thing, it's only a bad thing if you're part of that FOMO. If you're riding this wave of other people, you can ride the wave and go up to new all-time highs and actually get carried. That's exactly what happened back in 2020. Lots of people got wrecked if they bought past this fear and greed index place. But if you bought before this fear and greed index actually spiked, you would have been making money even if you held through all 4 years and have been holding it ever since, for example, 2020. You would have been making money even if all through the bear market. And while it might hurt missing the all-time high, you would have been making money. Everybody else who jumped on the wave up over here, they were losing money. Of course, they're making money right now, and that's only if they would have sold. But the whole point is that this was the last point where somebody was actually profitable. And that means that right now, $100,000 is just the beginning. What's next? I've talked about this in videos. I'm going to go over it once again really quickly. And that's taking a Fibonacci extension. First of all, like I said, this huge band, this huge box, which is calculated from my mid-cycle top bull flag. The two targets are 100K and 107K. That's my midterm target that I've been talking about for the last couple weeks. We have reached it. What's next? 144,000. Specifically 150K. That's what everybody says is going to be the all-time high. I think we're too bullish for that, but I think that 1.618, my favorite number, is going to be significant, and that's where Bitcoin could theoretically stop by and stay at for a couple days, maybe even a week, maybe even a month. We could recreate what we did back in 2020 when Bitcoin went to $40,000 and convinced half the world that this was the all-time high. It went to 42 and then it fell 35% in 3 weeks, scaring most of the people out, and only the ones who stayed, who bought in when the fear and greed index was at its peak and held through because they knew the truth, they made money by riding all the way to the top to around $65,000 to until they decided that they have enough profit on their hands. And so 150K first target, first midterm target, 202,000. Now we're talking 202, 260, and my personal $320,000. Now, there's a lot of reasons for $320,000. Maybe I'll release a video soon about why I think 320,000. But one of the reasons is Fibonacci extension level 4.618. We go back in time. We go to the previous mid-cycle top, $13,000 area. If we just calculate from the bear market bottom to the mid-cycle top, ignore this pandemic crash, which was a black swan event, go down to 6,000. You can see that Bitcoin went up around 4.618. You decide to use whatchamacallit, this pandemic crash, we went even higher than 4.618. We went higher than 5. We went 5 times higher than this first initial pump. Of course, Bitcoin might be too big, they say. But think about how much supply is in the market right now. Think about how many people are buying. Think about the demand right now. How many people are learning about Bitcoin? The game theory about how if the first person who invests, the first government who invests into something will make the most money. Governments are FOMOing it. Think about what's going on with the market. And that's why I say 350, 320 might not be as crazy as we think. But what might be crazy is thinking that 100K is the all-time high. No, 100K might be the bottom for the bear market. That's what I want to talk about in this video. And with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. Don't forget to join my Telegram group chat where we discuss stuff like this. And you guys can ask questions. Link is in the description. Don't forget to follow me on X where I post posts even when I don't have power, guys. Don't forget to follow me. Leave a like if you really like this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.